Okay, I can't tell if I'm live or not. Something looks frozen for me. Hmm. Let's see. Can you guys see me okay? Because I cannot see anything. Weird. Can you hear me? I think you're fine. I can literally see nothing on my screen. Okay, hold on. Let me refresh. I really hope this doesn't end. Oh my goodness, when I'm looking at my screen. Okay, now I can see. I'm looking and sounding fine. All right. What is happening? Okay. Sorry about that. And I'm hearing the worst echo in my earbuds. Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. Just give me a second. So weird. Okay, I'm going to take these off. All right. I'm assuming everything's still working. I'm sorry, guys. I have no idea what just happened there. It was like I was hearing like Darth Vader in my ears, and I could see nothing on my screen. So I have no idea why that happened. But as long as you guys can see and hear me, that's all that matters. So I'm going to try to regroup because I'm feeling a little flustered. And yeah, okay. There is an echo, right? Okay. So something needs to be muted. Let me mute that. Is it better? Okay, volume is off on my laptop. Okay, tell me if that's better. I'm really sorry. I have no idea. Is the echo still happening? Okay, phew. That's so weird. I've done StreamYard quite a number of times, and today it just didn't want to cooperate. So as long as you can hear me okay and see me okay, that's all that matters. For those that are watching the replay, I really apologize for that. I don't even know if I can cut that off, but now I really need some coffee. Okay. Ellen, I just adore technology. Speaking of technology, yesterday we had Stampin' Up! Does various larger and smaller events that are kind of geared towards helping demonstrators connect with one another, learn new ideas, tips, share different things that are working well in our businesses, and then of course get new catalog inspiration. So yesterday we had one such event called On Tour. And I was so excited that I was going to be sitting in my new craft space and, have like some privacy and quiet. And the Wi-Fi wasn't working. So I literally had to like upend my computer, go and sit in the kitchen, which when you're in a family of 5, not the quietest and most private spot. So yeah, technology has not been my friend this weekend. Hello, Don. Yes. Yeah, it was such a good event. I was a little distracted because I had like my kids and lots happening around me, but it was a really, really good event. So that's actually one of the things that I love about Stampin' Up! Is the community that you automatically enter into just from becoming a demonstrator. So whether you want to just do card making as a hobby, or you do want to, start a business and sell product or whatever it is that your goal or purpose is, the community is amazing, and you will always find people that are there to support, cheer you on, encourage you, inspire you. It's truly amazing. So I feel like my heart rate is coming down a little bit. My friend Alia is like, breathe and smile. It's smooth sailing from here. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, so let me tell you what we're going to be doing today. I am actually going to flip this so that you can see my catalog. Okay, so I have to tell you, we have a new catalog that's coming out. I think some of you may have seen that I coil bound mine. So this is our new it comes out May 2022. This is our new annual catalog. There is so much beautiful stuff in here, and I have my pre-order on the way. It was supposed to arrive by Friday, but it's actually scheduled to arrive tomorrow. So fingers crossed it gets here. But for today, and because this catalog is not technically live for the public, I'm actually going to be using a bundle from the January to June mini catalog. I have used the dies, but I have not used the stamp set very much. In fact, I had to put the stickers on it yesterday night when I was crafting with it. So it's called Amazing Silhouettes. And if you have the January to June mini catalog, you can find it on page 40. So it comes with an amazing stamp set called Amazing Silhouettes. And I'll just show you what the stamp set looks like. So it's got 3 stamps. There's no sentiments in this one. It's all images, and they are amazing because they kind of make it look like you are doing this emboss resist technique, which is a really fun technique where you emboss your image and then you can add color through watercoloring or using our Stampin' Blends. With these stamps, you look like a pro. You look like a true, like, you know, an expert when it comes to emboss resist, but all you need to do is just stamp it once. So I'm going to show you a really easy card to do with this. And then I'm also going to show you one that's a little bit more stepped up that uses more embossing and other kind of fun techniques. Good morning, everybody. Okay, I'm going to just pause and say good morning. I was a little flustered because I had all sorts of weird technology issues. So good morning, Andra, Lisa. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning, Janice. Hello, Denise. Thanks for joining, Alia. And good morning to all my friends that jumped on and stuck around with me while I was having some little issues. So good morning, Darlene, Kelly. Hello, Linda. Okay, friends, we are going to get started really quickly. We have a crazy day happening. So for those of you that have been kind of hanging out with me for a while, actually, I'll tell you that in a second. I'm going to also show you a couple of items that are going to be retiring soon that I'm going to be using today. The first one is the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder. I know that the catalog does not do it justice. If you don't already have this embossing folder, I am telling you, you need it in your life. It is so good. And as far as I can see, there's really nothing like it in the new catalog. So that's one. And then the other one that I think is a really good item to have from this catalog is the Pansy Petals Designer Series paper. So I've already kind of cut mine up, but it's a 12 by 12 paper pack. And it's got some different floral designs and patterns. But one of the things that I love about it is on the back of some of these floral patterns, there are these really nice gingham patterns. So we're going to be using those today. I'm going to show you how to make one card using this Fresh Freesia one. And then I'm actually going to show it to you in 2 other color combinations. So this is also going to be retiring. Let me see if I can show you some other patterns from here. So here's the one that's in the soft succulent. And then this is the pattern you see on this side. And then this one here, you can see I've really had fun cutting these, is the Pale Papaya gingham. And then on this side, we've got the different pansy patterns. So it is a great paper to have, whether you like florals or you just want that kind of monochromatic gingham pattern. It's a really, really good versatile one to have. And this is going to be retiring at the end of this catalog period. So that's another one that I used for these particular cards. So let me show you what we're going to do. And while I do that, I'm going to tell you about my crazy, crazy weekend. So I was saying, for those of you that have been hanging out with me for a while, you know that we have been going through some basement renovations. And so now we have decided to do our entire main floor and upstairs, which means we need to move out of the house. And that's starting on Tuesday. So this whole weekend has been about packing, but we also have a birthday party. My daughter has her dance recital photo day. So we've got to get her dolled up. She has her math class. Like, it is literally a crazy day today for us. But I am going to try and get through it. I'm going to just continue taking deep breaths and all will be good. And we will have packed up our house by tomorrow night and we will be moving out. So wish me luck, my friends. Wish me luck. It is going to be an interesting few weeks. But we're excited. And after all of this mayhem, we are going to have a nice new remodeled home. So I'm just trying to keep my eye on the prize. Okay, my friends, I'm going to start by showing you a really simple card using this stamp set. Okay, so I'm going to use this image here from the Amazing Silhouette stamp set. And I'm just taking a note card and envelope. So you can get a package of 20 of these, okay? 20 note cards and 20 envelopes. So this is a really, really good item to have for someone who's a very new stamper or someone who's just wanting to make a bunch of quick cards in a short amount of time. So I'm going to just take my card base and I'm just going to burnish that with the bone folder, another essential tool that you need in your stamping arsenal. And I'm going to use 2 ink colors. I'm going to use Fresh Freesia for the image, and then I'm going to use black for my sentiment, which I've taken from the Happy and Heartfelt stamp set. So when you are using this stamp set, like I said, there's no greetings in here. So you'll want a greeting stamp set if you do want to add greetings, but also it is kind of a nice set of stamps to just leave on its own if you don't feel like you want to add greetings. And let me show you how easy it is to make this beautiful, gorgeous card. So I'm just going to take my stamp and I'm going to ink that up. And I'm just going to stamp that straight down and straight up. And look at that beautiful, can you see that beautiful image there? It's just stunning. So it looks like I've done some fancy emboss resist technique, but you all saw that I really didn't. I just inked it up and stamped it in less than 5 seconds. So now I'm going to take a sentiment that says, "You matter to me." And I think this is an important sentiment to give to people because I think, especially after everything that has happened in the last 2 years, I think a lot of people, may be struggling emotionally or mentally. And I think just a little note to let them know they matter to you and you're grateful for them is a really nice way to brighten someone's day. So I've got my image and I've got my greeting, and now I'm just going to add some embellishments. So I'm going to use these brushed brass butterflies, which are hard to say. And I'm just going to use my take your pick tool. So this I find makes it really easy to pick up the embellishments from the sheet. So I'm just going to use that putty end and pick that up. And then I'm going to set them down here. Okay, so that is the simple version of this card. It's actually a completely different version, but it's a very simplified card for someone that is pretty new. You might not have a lot of stuff, or you just want to make cards on the go. Okay, really, really simple. And yeah, really, really easy to do. Yeah, yes, I'm seeing some of your comments saying, oh my gosh, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. We're packing up our entire house of 13 years and now moving it all into the basement, which we just recently finished. So we're not quite getting to the point where we can enjoy the basement. But we know that we will be able to, hopefully in like 8 to 10 weeks, hopefully. So we're working with a designer and she has been fantastic and is really kind of project managing well and kind of moving things along. And so I don't think that I would have done this without her. We've actually been waiting to work with her for a couple of years. So super grateful for her and the fact that she is going to kind of manage all of the work. I just get to pick flooring samples, cabinet colors, countertops. I just get to, she shows me options and then I'm like, yep, I want that one. So I really need that kind of level of ease in my life right now. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start by stamping. I've got all of my pieces cut and ready to go. I use my Stampin' Trimmer to do all of this. I'm going to start by stamping my image here. So let me show you the card. If you don't want to see it, you can look away. I'm going to show you the card and then I'm going to show it to you in 2 other color combinations. Okay. And let me see if I can just fix this light here. The shadows are still an issue, but hopefully you guys can see. So here's the card. It is a really pretty and simple card using the Amazing Silhouettes. You can see where I've done the texture embossing here. And then I've also used the Amazing Thanks dies, which coordinate with the bundle. Okay, so the stamp set you can purchase individually, but if you want the dies, and I actually think the dies are kind of the star of the show, you can purchase them together and save 10%. Okay, so that's the card, and I'm going to show you how to make that. So we'll start by stamping our image. So I've already got that mounted on a block. And again, I'm going to use my Fresh Freesia ink. This is the only part that I will be using my ink for. Okay, so I'm only using it to stamp the image and then the rest will all be die cutting. Okay, So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line this up and just make sure that it's fairly straight. So what I did was I stamped it first onto white cardstock, and then I trimmed the edges on my first card just to get a feel for what the dimensions were. So this piece here is a basic white rectangle that measures 2 3/4 by 4 7/8. Okay, so that's that. And then the rest of the card is going to be using our cut and emboss machine. So let me get that here now. And then we will, what did I do with my embossing folder? Hang on. Give me 1 second. I feel like it might be, yeah, here we go. All right. So we are going to do some cutting and embossing. First, I will use my dies, and I'm going to die cut the thanks. Okay, so there are 2 dies for each word. And you can see here that there is like kind of a larger bubble outline, and then there is the more precise word, I guess you could say, or it's smaller. There's a size difference. You can tell which one's going to be your outline and which one is going to layer on top. So I'm going to use my basic black and my basic white cardstock, and we'll die cut these together. I've got 2 kind of narrow pieces that can fit together. And let me just shift this so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got my cardstock lined up side by side. I'm going to take the black smaller one, and then I'm going to do the outline in white. So I'm just poking out these little bits here, and I'm going to die cut that together. Okay, here we go. I'm just rolling this through my cut and emboss machine. Now, if you want to use these dies, you do need a die cutting machine for it. And if you don't have one, then you can just either omit this step, or you can get one. And right now, well, all year long, the starter kit is a really great deal. So you can, if you want the cut and emboss machine, it regularly costs $163, but you can actually get it for $135, no tax, no shipping, if you take advantage of our starter kit option. What I'm doing now is I am just putting my stamped image into that embossing folder, and I am going to emboss this. Okay, and then that's it for our cut and emboss machine, which I'm just going to put next to me on the floor. So let me show you how this looks. And this is why I think the Tasteful Textile embossing folder is just one that you need to have. Can you see as I move it, the texture on that stamped image? I just think it adds so much detail and beauty to it. The other thing that I want to do is I would like to add a little bit of splatter. I haven't done this in a really long time. This is one of my favorite kind of little easy techniques or ways to add a little bit of interest. So I'm just taking my black Stampin' Write marker, and I'm just flicking it against the cap, and it's just creating this really fine splatter onto the card. Okay, really easy way to just kind of add some interest. So you can see, hopefully in the light. And our black Stampin' Write marker is something that you can purchase separately. Most of our Stampin' Write markers you can't actually purchase separately, but the black one you can. So if you don't have all of them or don't want all of them, the black is all you need to be able to do this fun effect. And I'm doing it with a light colored card, and it still doesn't it's not too overpowering. So I am just taking my liquid glue and adding it to the back of this, which I'm just sticking down on a slightly larger layer. Okay, so I will set that down, and then I'm going to let this dry. Just going to add a little bit of pressure here. And then let's do our, what did I do with my die cut words? Okay, what did I do with them? Oh, I know where they are. They're right on my platform here. Okay, so here is the white outline, and then here is the black thanks. I'm going to also show you after one card that I did where I actually cut part of the thanks to make it a thank you. So instead of just saying thanks, which is a little bit more of a casual way to say thank you, I'll show you one that I cut to make it a thank you. Okay, so let me glue this down. I'm going to just grab my tweezers. Oh, Darlene, you need to have that in your life. It's so good. I'm so sad that it's retiring. Seriously. Okay, so I'm just going to take my liquid glue. I'm just going to add little dots here and there while trying to add little ones, but sometimes the big ones want to come out. And you want to just try and get the larger parts here just so that it sticks down a little on each end. Okay. And then you can use your fingers for this. I'm just using my tweezers because it's just giving me a little bit more control. And because you're using the liquid glue, you have a little bit of time to stick it down. You want to get these little bits out of the way. Hold on. Oh, get out of there. I have a little bit stuck here. There we go. Okay. So just readjust till everything gets stuck down. So this is where the liquid glue is really helpful. You can also use our adhesive sheets, which kind of turn it into a bit of like a sticker, but I find that the liquid glue helps to kind of position one on the other. Excuse me. So now I'm going to take my designer series paper, and this is the other side of it. You could use either side, but I like the just the white and fresh freesia gingham. And I'm covering the entire card base. I'm seeing a lot of this in our samples in the catalogs, and I love doing it now. I used to kind of just do a smaller layer, but I like actually covering the entire card with it. I think it looks really pretty. So there's that. Yes, Darlene, it's still available, I think. I checked this morning to make sure that all of the items I was using were still available. That is one I really feel, I don't think I'll get rid of mine. I usually do a retired product sale, but I think I might hold on to that one because I feel like I'd be really sad if I got rid of it. Okay, so all I'm doing now is I am gluing down this part here. Okay. Now, before I do the rest of before I add on the thanks, I'm just going to take some of our Simply Elegant trim, and I'm using the silver one. And I'm going to just take a little glue dot. Again, I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. This is like one of the most handy tools ever. Okay. And then I'm just going to, stick this down right here. Okay. And I'm putting that down because I just want to hold the trim in place while I create this fun little kind of faux bow. So I'm just sticking that down there. And then I'm just going to go in the other direction. So I'm making a loop. And it's just it's a little glue dot. So it's not going to give you a ton of hold. Okay. And then I'm just going to snip that off. So remember, I'm going to show you some other versions of this card in different colors at the end. All right, so there, we've got that done. And now I'm going to stick this down, and I'm going to use my mini black dimensionals. You could use the white ones too. I'm just going to stick them, maybe one here. So you're just looking for kind of the parts where it'll be a bit hidden. Maybe one here. And then we'll do, can you see what I'm doing? Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. One here, and let's start with that. Actually, I'm going to do one more at the bottom here, just to get it to stick down over that elegant trim. So I'm just peeling these off. You can do this with the regular mini dimensionals as well. It's not like the black is making a huge difference. It's just what I had handy. Okay, so now I want to cover up this little twine piece here. In fact, I think I'm going to add another glue dot on top just to hold it because it's moving. I'm making this look more difficult than it really is. It really isn't that hard. Okay, try not to poke yourself. And then we're just going to stick that down onto the card. The dimensionals will kind of hold that trim in place as well. And you can adjust it a little bit, but not too much. There we go. It's a little wonky, but it's okay. We love it. We love it. Okay. There we go. Nothing's going according to plan today, but it's still a cute card and I hope you guys like it. So there's the card. I am a little irked by how wonky this is turned, but it's because I've got my dimensional here. Okay, hold on. There we go. There we go. That's better. So most of the card is done. I'm just going to add some embellishments and I am going to use the 2021-23 in color jewels. All right, and I'm going to use them in the fresh freesia color. So again, I'm going to use my take your pick tool, probably one of my most used tools. And I'm just going to put down 3 of these pretty little gems like so. And that's the card, my friends, that easy. Okay. So you can see the original and the one I made today is very, they're exactly the same. So let me just clear this up. Tell me what you guys think of the card. Do you love it? Is it something that you could see yourself making? I'm very interested in knowing. Good morning, Tammy. I'm glad that you like it. Yeah, I really loved the way this card turned out. Actually, before I show you the other colors, I like to remind people or show people a hack for dressing up your envelope, okay? So what I do is I just take the flap of the envelope, I use my liquid glue, and I am just putting some glue on the outer part of the flap. And then I'm going to line up some coordinating designer series paper or pretty patterned paper. And I'm just going to stick that down onto the flap. Okay, then we're going to use the flap as our guide, and the paper snips are perfect for this. I'm just going to use that as a guide to show me where to cut. Okay, so I'm just using my paper snips, just going to cut that. All right, there we go. And there you go. You have a coordinating envelope for your card. Really pretty. Who wouldn't love to receive this? This is a beautiful thank you card. And so I promised I would show you some other options. Let me show you the original one that we did for those that jumped in a little late. This is one just showing you a sample of a note card where you just stamp the image and then add any sentiment you want, and you can add any embellishments you want as well. Okay, so really simple, very pretty. Here it is in mint macaron. Okay, so you see some different options here. So that's in mint macaron. Okay, so let me show you the card that I did in soft succulent. So this one here, I used the You Are Amazing, again from the same Amazing Thanks dies. So you can kind of, you know, really kind of tailor the message to what you want it to be. So these are the dies for You Are Amazing. And then I told you I would show you how you can change the thanks to a thank you. So I used the you that you saw on the previous card. And all I did was just trim the 2 dies for the thanks. So I just actually cut off the S by just using my paper snips and just trimming around the edge. And now I've got one that says, thank you. So if you have something, if you want to say it in a little bit more of a formal way, you feel like thanks might be a bit too casual, then you can totally do that. So many different things that you can do with these dies and so many different techniques. And while I think that they coordinate really nicely with this amazing silhouette stamp set, you can also use it with honestly any other stamps that you have. So I hope that you guys liked it. Let me just look and see. Hello, Janice Keels. I saw you yesterday. Beautiful card. I have this set and really was struggling with how to use it. Thanks for sharing. I think I need to ink it up now. Yeah, it's a really, I was struggling too, actually, Janice, which is why I challenged myself to use it yesterday. I just was like, I need to pull this out and I need to actually, I need to use it. And what's Janice French saying? I love the design, Zara, and all the trickery techniques too. The sticky strip using one side. Yes, I agree. I actually did use my sticky strip or my tear and tape to do it on one of my cards, but then it was showing on the ends. I'm glad that you guys like it. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Shirley. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you liked the tips and that they were helpful for you. So listen, so for those of you that don't already have a demonstrator, are not a demonstrator yourself, and you live in Canada, you can purchase any of these items from my online store. I will list the products used in the description of this video. And if you have any questions or you'd like any help putting a bundle of product together, or you want more information about our starter kit deal, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I like to think of myself as a card making coach. So my hope and my goal is always to help people be successful with their card making experiences, whether you are really kind of at that simple end of the spectrum or you want to do fancy stepped up cards. I'm always happy to help. So please do reach out to me. And if you would like to join my mailing list, I'm going to show you the link because it should be up, but I'll also post it in the description. If you go to zarapremji.com, there is a link to join my email list where I like to share some tips and tutorials and information about upcoming events and promotions. So go ahead and join that if you haven't already. And I think that's it for me, guys. I've got to get packing. So thank you for joining me, and thanks for your patience at the beginning. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. I really appreciate it. I really can't wait for the after pictures because it's right now trying not to have a meltdown. I've been pretty okay so far. I feel like we're getting kind of close to that time where I'm on the verge of a bit of a tantrum. So just going to keep taking deep breaths. It'll all get done and it'll all be great. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you all have a great week ahead. If you're not already following me on Instagram, come join me there. I'll be doing a live video on Wednesday, hopefully. And I like to post lots of ideas and inspiration and little short videos called Instagram Reels. And so join me over there as well so we can hang out during the week. Thanks so much, everybody. I hope you have a great day and a great week ahead. Bye for now.